right. All right. Sorry about that, everybody.
We are back.
Appreciate your patience. We'll give everybody a little bit to come on back into this new stream. I apologize there. It's very finicky with Zoom. If you hit a button, it'll take you out and you can't get it back in. And it's just a silly thing. Is what it is. It's silly. So we've solved it. We're back. There is one question that did pop up, and Jaden, we will get to your question here in just a little bit. But your question first to me, Bob, was, do I think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to come back? Correct? You're on mute, my friend.
That was my question to you. Sorry, I had to burp. I didn't want that to come through the mic.
No, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate your sacrifice. Looks like I'm kind of buffering weird here. Whoa, yeah, I'm lagging. Anyway, yes, Juju. Do I think he's going to come back? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the market for Juju would be right now. He's kind of more of a problem than he is a solution to a problem, and at least that's my interpretation of him from obviously a rival fan. But I don't know. Do you want him back? I think that's a more important question.
Don't.
Why?
I don't think he's that good. You know, I think. Oh my God! Why did I just space? Deontay Johnson. Good Lord, I think Deontay Johnson's a way better talent. I don't think Juju is. I mean, granted, he wasn't healthy the whole season, but man, he ever since that game where he danced on the Bengals logo, he's just been different.
He has, dude, and I didn't want to say that.
And
just he has like a dick.
No, I mean it's absolutely true. I mean he got shown up pretty bad, and I think his game is all up here in his head. I don't think his head's right. Yeah, I think a fresh location will do him better than him coming back to Pittsburgh. I think there just needs to be a mutual agreement of separating and just let him. I mean, he's going to land somewhere. I hope it's not Pittsburgh, but if he does decide to come back, he needs to really think about changing his attitude and focusing on football and not TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Juju kind of blew up out of nowhere, right? Well, not out of nowhere. I mean, he's a pretty highly touted, prospect coming out of college. But he just kind of burst on the scene, right? And got a lot of success early, but they didn't really accomplish much. I have a crazy statistic for you. The Bengals now have more playoff wins than the Steelers in the last 10 years. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's insane. I mean, and so for Juju, he got all this individual success. For him to be more successful, he needs to think about team success, because that's what it is. Everybody knows he can play.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he can play. The real problem with him is that he's more focused on himself, and that personifies itself through his TikTok ventures of Corvette and all this shit that he's doing, and then getting lit up. So right. Todd's jumping in.
Toddy G. But yeah, to address Jaden's question before we disconnected, he asked who is going to be behind center for the Steelers. It's a good question, man. There's a lot of speculation out there right now that it's going to be Jimmy G. I've read that in multiple places. I mean, I don't think I hate that. I don't necessarily love it.
Better than Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, and the articles that I've read, the Steelers are pretty confident that they're trying to say that Mason Rudolph is the guy.
Come on.
We haven't got to see him in whatever. I don't know what they're fucking talking about. These are all Steelers articles that I follow on Facebook, but I'm like, I don't know what games you guys have been watching, but he's not the guy. So I don't know if they're just trying to show faith in him until we hit the trade deadline and just I don't know. I don't know what the play is there, but it's not Mason Rudolph. It's not Dwayne Haskins. So
Caroline, Caroline. Thanks for liking the video. Appreciate you.
um, yeah, I don't know, man. You think they stick with Rudolph this year, Todd?
I mean, so I'm not Todd, but I'm going to go ahead and talk. I think they might, honestly. I'm not a fan of getting a free agent quarterback. It worked this year for the Rams, but guess what? Jimmy G's not fucking Matt Stafford, and Deontay Johnson ain't Cooper Cup, and Juju is not Robert Woods, and the list goes on and on and on, right? Um, yeah, Najee's better than Darrell Henderson, but that Pittsburgh offensive line doesn't have Andrew Whitworth. Yeah, T.J. Watt is better than Von Miller, but who's their Aaron Donald? Who's their Jalen Ramsey? It ain't Joe Hayden, right? It's not
No.
fucking Joe Hayden. So I'm not a real big proponent on getting a free agent quarterback. I think getting quarterbacks out of the draft, kind of this, what was really the Seahawk model is how I view it, because what they did is got their rookie quarterback and then built an amazing defense and got some guys that could score, and they went and won a Super Bowl. And they did it on the rookie deal. Now, there's a second half to that where you don't just fucking stop like the Seahawks did, and don't invest in offensive line to keep your Super Bowl winning quarterback upright most of the time. But yeah, that's the route that I would typically go as a general manager. That's what I would do. And Mason Rudolph is just not it. Honestly, like, if he was, he would have already, like, Ben would have retired last year, in my opinion. I think the Steelers would have made it worth his time to stop. Maybe they put him on the squad, or they just cut him a big check and say, Ben, it's time. We got to hand the keys over to this kid. He's ready. Or they would have traded him. They would have let him walk or traded him. That's exactly what they would have done. Or released him. Just cut him. Because if your franchise is being hindered by somebody, you don't just let the Steelers aren't going to let that happen. No. I mean, the Packers didn't let it happen with Brett Favre when it was time for Rodgers to come in. So, and the Steelers are a franchise that has that kind of clout, like the Packers. They're not going to let that happen. So I don't think Rudolph is ready. I still probably don't think he's ready. I mean, ready. What does that mean? He's a fifth year quarterback. I mean, how much more fucking ready are you going to get? So I just don't think that he. Who do I think is gonna be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers next year? I honestly think they draft somebody. Like, if Malik Willis is available, I think they draft him. Kenny Pickett is just too good of a story for them to pass on that. Even though he's got Whopper Jr. hands, apparently today. So
I saw that. That was funny.
If you guys don't know, combine measurements were today, and Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh, measured today at 8.5-inch hands. So how do you measure hands? You basically go like this, and they put a ruler down on a table, right? Like this is the ruler, and you just put your hand over it like that, and they just measure from tip of the thumb to tip of the pinky, that distance. Now, Joe Burrow had like 9.5-inch hands, and everybody was like, that's small. Statistically speaking, most quarterbacks are like 10 inches plus. So Joe Burrow made a comment when he was getting drafted and saying, well, looks like due to my hand size, I got to retire, guys, before he was even drafted. Is a nice tweet. And he made a great comment on it that it's not really an issue unless the film shows it's an issue. Like, am I fumbling the ball a bunch? And the film won't show that I was fumbling the ball a lot. Kenny Pickett, on the other hand, now I haven't backed this up with research. I saw a tweet that he had 37 fumbles last year, and 26 of, or maybe in his career, 37 fumbles and 26 of them were lost. That's
a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, Yeah, that's a hefty amount of fumbles. So again,
Yeah.
I didn't do any research on that to see if it. We'll have to get our intern on that one. Hey, intern, you look that up? Um, big operation here. Todd came
Yeah,
in with
I
a
see
comment
that.
though. He said, "I think they stick with Rudolph this year. Don't see them going after anyone." Anyone in free agency? I mean, do they draft somebody though? I mean, would you, Bobby, with this quarterback class, or do you want to put Rudolph in there so you suck this year?
I don't know, man. It's the Steelers aren't a franchise that are gonna go into a season and lose.
Right.
They always have the mindset that they're gonna go out there and give it everything they got, even if it's an 8-8 season. Um, so I think they make a play, whether it's in free agency or in the draft. I don't know, but there's going to be a different face in Pittsburgh at quarterback this year. Whether it comes, here in the next couple of weeks, or whether we see it, mid-April at the draft. So they're gonna make some plays. They're gonna beef up the O line. They're obviously gonna make a play at quarterback. Defense is in a decent spot. I think that's probably their strongest component as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see them, needing to add too many pieces there. I think the primary focus is getting a quarterback in there and getting people to protect said quarterback.
Now, how
So
familiar are you with their cap situation? I'm not familiar at all.
I am not at all.
Yeah, I'll look that up while we're talking, because if you think about Pittsburgh, if they're able to bring Juju back on a team friendly deal, I'm gonna look this up. NFL teams salary cap 22. If you look at then if they can get Juju back, is it Fryermuth? I think is their tight end.
Pat, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty solid tight end, I would say. Johnson, Claypool, Juju, Najee. That's a pretty good offense, right? Those are good pieces. What they don't have at all is offensive line or a quarterback. So if you're the Steelers, and there are some pretty notable offensive linemen available right now in free agency, can you go out and just spend a bunch on offensive line, use draft capital to move up? Yeah,
Draft what?
yeah, you got me. Draft capital. You are seeing a master at work. If they move up in the draft and go get their guy, whomever that is, if it's Malik Willis, if it's Desmond Ritter, if it's Kenny Pickett, yada yada yada. Matt
So the Steelers
Corral.
have $88 million in cap space
Is that right now
for
currently?
2022.
What website are you looking at?
Google.
Okay. So go to SpotTrack, SPOTRAC.com.
Yep, I'm on it.
Pittsburgh actually ranks 12th with $29 million available right now.
I don't know why Google lied to me.
Google is a whore. 29 million. They're top half of the league in terms of cap space, but in comparison, the Bengals sit at fourth with 48 million. Again, there's, that's roughly 50 million. You cut Trey Waynes, you cut Hopkins, you've got some cap space available there. Number one is Miami with $61 million in cap space. Chargers right behind at 57. They need defense. Jacksonville 56. They need O-line. And maybe some weapons as well. Travis Etienne coming back for the Jaguars this year. I'm excited to see how that happens. And then the Bengals at 4 at 48 million, followed by the Denver to round out the top five. Denver Broncos at 39 million. So Pittsburgh with about half of what the Bengals currently have in cap space at $29 million. 12th in the league in cap space. So they have some money. There are some guys that they can go out and get. Of course, they have some people that they want to re-sign on their own team as well. And we'll see how that all shakes out. But in my opinion, I think they're, an O-line and a quarterback away from competing for at least a wild card spot.
Yeah, for sure.
At least, right? I think if I'm looking at this objectively, they don't need a whole lot of help on defense. Maybe they could use a corner, a lockdown corner, some depth probably at the linebacker spot. But overall, I think they're not light years away. They're closer than the Lions. They're closer than the Jets, in my opinion. The Giants are about to just throw an H-bomb on their
Wow.
entire roster. So
Todd just came in with a comment. Baylor wide receiver Tyquan Thornton ran an official 40 of 4.21.
God damn.
Is that the fastest 40 time at the combine ever?
No.
Somebody ran a 4.2.
John Ross.
That's right. It was a 4.2 flat. 4.21 is fast as fuck, boy.
That's I think Chris Johnson ran a 4.21, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was a 4.23. I can't remember. Either way, that's fucking cooking, man. That is just insane.
Oh yeah, he did beat John Ross.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah. I think John Ross ran a 4.22. And I think Chris Johnson ran a 4.23. I think a 4.21 is the fastest ever.
Okay.
If
Ryan
I'm not mistaken.
beat John Ross. Yeah, that's amazing. Ryan, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining the show. Came in with a comment that Bengals better not draft O-line. They're terrible at drafting O-line. Every dime spent should be on respected linemen. I agree. Now, I don't think it's fair to say that like Dante Smith, Trey Hill, and Jackson Carman, I don't think it's fair to say that they're done. I don't think it's fair to even say that Jonah is done. You know, you got to remember Jonah Williams had horrible coaching for his first 3 years with Turner as the offensive line coach for the Bengals. Carman, Smith, and Hill are all rookies. The biggest leap that you see linemen take is in between year 1 and year 2. Now, there are some studs that just come out and do it great from the get-go. Your Penei Sewell, your Rashawn Slater. These are guys that tested really well. They're athletic freaks. They check all the boxes on paper, right? Jackson Carman, Dante Smith, and Trey Hill, they didn't. That's why they went later in the draft. They're projects. So I think another year with Frank Pollock as a line coach, I think that they can still be part of this team. But what I know right now is that the Bengals are in win now mode. The Bengals are in a time where you need to go out and get your guys and get proven individuals. And Ryan, you weren't with us earlier on the show when we were talking about who is it that I want the Bengals to go get. I want, as Frank Pollock, offensive line coach of the Bengals, says, I want guys who are ready to eat shards of glass. I want maulers, mean motherfuckers. And the number one guy that comes to mind when I think about that is Ryan Jensen. Probably going to get $10, $11 million for 3 years, 4 years maybe. He's 31 years old, so he's not like a young pup. He's not coming off his rookie deal. But he's a proven individual that could be with the Bengals for the next 3 years, help us win at least one Super Bowl. You know, that's the mindset right now that you have to have as a front office. So,
yeah,
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the Bengals are ever going to win a Super Bowl, now's the time. They need to.
Amber, liking the video. Thanks, Amber.
What up, Amber?
Rob, what's up, Rob? Rob,
what's popping, sir? Pretty sure everybody's swinging in. Yeah, thanks for Caroline, Amber, Rob. Thanks for liking the video, guys. Appreciate it.
Caroline. That was really nice, Bob. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah. I try to hit a note every now and then. Mm-hmm. Rob, who are you looking for the Bears to sign this offseason, sir?
Duh, Bears.
You got anybody in mind? Let us know. Interested to hear your take on this Chicago. Are they going to bring back Trubisky?
I was going to say Trubisky, man. Bring him back, man.
So was it you that sent that meme I saw I saw it somewhere where like Mitch Trubisky's a guy that you want your daughter to date, and then he had a tweet that said like I like titties or something.
I love to kiss titties.
I love to kiss titties.
I love to kiss titties. That is an actual tweet from Mitch Trubisky, and yeah, a few days ago somebody tweeted out like because he's a free agent, he's available. Teams can go get him. To be honest, if you're looking for a serviceable quarterback, Mitch Trubisky could be a cheap option for the Steelers if they're going to go add some depth to the offensive line as well. I wouldn't hate that if I'm a Steelers fan. It's better than Mason Rudolph. Trubisky has a winning record. I think he's just the benefit, or rather the misfortune of who his head coach was. Peyton Watson with the follow. What's up, Peyton? Thank you, man.
Welcome to the community.
Welcome, man. Welcome to the Rally Town Sports family. But I mean, it could be an upgrade for you over Mason Rudolph. I don't think
I think
that's.
anything's an upgrade from Mason Rudolph. So yeah,
Yeah,
Rob said an entire O line. That's what
yeah.
O line is a need for everybody,
And yeah,
man.
and that's the thing. It's like as if you're a Bengals fan or you're a Steelers fan or Browns, Bears, whatever, eh, and you need offensive line, and you're like looking at these guys like, oh, my team has to go get this guy. Like they have to go get him. Everybody is saying that. Like there is not a team in this league, maybe other than the Colts. Maybe the Colts are the only team there. It's like, yeah, no, we feel confident with our offensive line. Like the Browns, they need depth at offensive line. Even though their starters are really, really good, they saw what happened last season when they didn't have depth at offensive line. Every single team in the NFL is like, yeah, we need to get better at that. Offensive linemen they're just they're rare. They're fucking unicorns. Like getting a good offensive line is hard to do. To get 5 players that are working well together and not giving up weaknesses, it's just hard to do. So when you're thinking about this, okay, let's think about the other teams that are going after this individual. Let's think about who else wants them. Is that a more appealing place to go? Probably. For a lot of people, yeah, it probably is. It probably is. Now, if you're a team that didn't make the playoffs this year, didn't win your division, didn't even really compete for that, your team is going to have to spend more for that individual to come there. That's just the way the world works in the NFL, unfortunately. Nick liking the video. What's up, Nick? So yeah, it's everybody needs O-line, man. It's gonna be wild when free agency starts next Wednesday. I think it is next Wednesday. NFL free agency. It's gonna be fucking lit. I can't wait. It's
Yeah.
like Joe was saying earlier in our group chat. It's like Christmas morning, dude. It's so much fun. Like I'm literally the most unproductive person at work. I'm sitting there just going like this: refresh, 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 like consistently on Twitter. I have a problem.
Ryan came in and said, "I'll take Todd Gottschall first round."
Okay.
He's got a little knee issues, so I don't know if he's a first round pick, but I'm definitely mid to late second.
I will, as someone that has performed many a double team ace kiss block up to the second level with that man. You're getting a great character, a great character player, locker room guy. He's never going to be late for practice, and he's going to always be down for a slap hands after you watch that 39 pitch go to the fucking house. Always be down. Always be down.
Jaden coming in with a comment: does Washington stay with Taylor Hanke? Heineke, Peyton coming in saying that Washington should draft a quarterback. What are your thoughts?
I think that the story of Taylor Heineke is amazing. So if you don't know the story about Taylor Heineke, he went to Old Dominion, and I think he was in the league for a little bit, got cut, went and did the XFL thing. COVID happened. The XFL didn't make it due to funding and due to COVID and all these things. And then I think it was the Denver game where like Denver had to start like a practice squad wide receiver at quarterback. And Washington saw that and were like, that ain't happening to us. So they went and pulled Taylor onto their roster as like an emergency COVID quarterback. And during that season, that 2020 season, you were allowed to have more people on your roster as COVID backup. Well, shit hit the fan, and Heineke got his spot. He actually started a playoff game for the Washington football team, now the Washington Commanders, and they didn't win. They were going against the future Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady, but they covered the spread, all right, and Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of really like, what the fuck are you doing plays, but like some of those are like, what the fuck? Oh shit! You know, like
Right.
you know that. So that's
Yeah.
the kind of way that he plays, and I would love. I think he'll stay in the league. I think he'll continue to be somebody that they're like, okay, this guy's got game experience. He knows how to play. You know, he can come in and hand the ball off, or he can come in and make a quick, 3 yard slant throw, things like that. So I hope Heineke gets to stay in the league for a little while because he was closer to being done. He was close to walking away from the sport and being like, all right, I guess I got to get a real job and stuff like that. So it's just cool for guys like that to finally, break through and be able to hopefully make a living off of this, even if it's just like a Fitzpatrick career, maybe not as emboldened as that, but like a Chad Henne. Chad Henne's still in the fucking league. That's crazy. That is insane.
Is he really?
I believe he is. I believe
Who
he
does
is.
he play for?
Good
I mean,
question.
well, backup. Who's he backup for?
Who hasn't he played for? To be honest,
That's a good point.
yeah. I mean, he's bounced around, but he's made a career out of it, and that's amazing. I mean, if I could pick one job, of dollars, and lead the scout team on during the week. So, let's see here. So, who would they draft? Malik Willis, I think, would be really cool. I love Desmond Ritter. I'm a homer in that pick, but I love Desmond Ritter. I just watch him throw the ball, and it just looks effortless, effortless in the way he throws the ball. Um, and I'm a big fan of that. Just the mechanics part of that, and I really really hope he gets an opportunity to play in the NFL. And I hope he does really really well because I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. That's my dark horse as like could be the best quarterback in this draft class is Desmond Ritter.
I wouldn't mind seeing Desmond Ritter in the black and gold.
That would be bittersweet, man. I'd be really happy.
That's the thing. I mean, I think that's the play for Pittsburgh. You got to get somebody young and agile to completely just overhaul that offense because Ben wasn't that guy. Even when he was young, Ben wasn't that guy. Ben was the guy that's going to stand there. He's going to you're going to try to tackle him. He's going to throw you to the side and say, stop being a bitch. Then he's going to throw a 45-yard touchdown. He's going to break 3 tackles before as he's rolling out at 4 miles an hour and then hitting Heath Miller on a cross route.
Moving at half the speed of smell. Just gingerly strolling across the hash marks. Peyton came with a comment, though. He says, Desmond Ritter to the Colts, second round. Peyton, Colts are a team that we cover here on Line to Gain, so that would be really, really interesting. There's been a lot of talk that the people in Indianapolis they're done with Carson Wentz. They're ready to move on, ready to trade him. I mean, do you think that's the right move for the Colts?
Are you asking me or are you asking chat?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Where are you at on Carson Wentz right now? I mean,
I think Carson Wentz has a lot of talent, man, but he just doesn't seem like he can just stay healthy. And I don't know, man. I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air with Carson Wentz, and I don't think that's where you want to be, with the most important position on your team, which is obviously, why there's a lot of talk of the Colts moving on from him. And yeah, he is injury prone, Peyton. You're right. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Carson Wentz would be best served as a backup quarterback somewhere.
I think that's where he's headed, honestly. I think the Eagles just are silly gooses in their contract that they gave him, and it makes it harder. And the Colts are kind of silly for going out and trading. I mean, they took a shot on him. At least they're not wasting another season trying to figure it out. They've kind of figured it out, and they're ready to move forward and give him another opportunity somewhere else, which is great for both parties. I think that's what you do. You decide, okay, this just really isn't working, so let's give it another go somewhere else. So I mean, Carson Wentz to the Giants. I don't know. I mean, I think the Giants are coming out as an organization and saying, yeah, we support Daniel Jones. Really? Because you're about to explode your entire roster. Is that how you support your quarterback? By getting rid of everyone? How the fuck is Daniel Jones going to be successful there? It's just not going to happen. So
yeah, he's gotten a bad rip up there in New York. But Jaden said, wouldn't be surprised if he pulls an Andrew Luck. I'm like, well, to be fair, I don't think he can pull an Andrew Luck because he can't even touch what Andrew Luck accomplished on a football field. personally. I think Andrew Luck was amazing, but he got out before his body broke. You know,
Yeah, Andrew Luck is arguably the greatest thing that never happened. That never happened. I it was kind of sad for the game when one of your youngest, best quarterbacks leaves because he can't do it anymore. I totally understand and respect the decision he made. Although, even with that being the case, it's his body, it's his life. He made some money, and he's done with the game. And if you don't like that, well, that he doesn't. It's not really his fucking problem. So,
exactly,
yeah, and
exactly.
I hope that that doesn't happen. Just because, as a fan, I hope that if it does happen with more players, I get it. You've seen players step away from the game earlier and earlier. Calvin Johnson is one of those guys that did that. I forget who the linebacker was out of San Francisco a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Did the exact same thing. I mean, he was one of the best linebackers in the league, and he's just like, no, I'm done. I value. I want to be able to pick up my kids and my grandkids and play with them, and good for you, man. I mean, you made your millions, and you can turn that into that's a great launching pad for you for the rest of your life. So, um, as a fan though, I hope it doesn't happen. I think Carson Wentz could add value somewhere else. There's still a lot of good things that he is able to do. Um, but Ryan with $1 million question here that every fantasy owner wants to know: will Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? Ryan, if I knew that, whew,
history tells us he won't.
yeah, unfortunately,
And I think that's where I side in that argument. I think if McCaffrey had 10 seasons and 8 or 9 of them were healthy, I think he would have most of the running records that exist on this planet. He's just that good.
yeah, he's a freak, and not only just running. I mean,
Catching. He's got great hands. Like
great, like open field moves, like his ability to see the field, hit the hole, make people miss, all of those things.
Perfect example. If he stayed healthy for one entire season, he will do exactly what Cooper Kupp did last season.
Yeah, that's a great example. If he's able to do, oh, I did it again, son of a bitch. God damn it! I'm a just pile. All right, you got our sweet sultry voices, and I'm gonna figure out how to fix this while we're on the air. It's got to be able to happen.
Well, either way, Peyton came in with a comment. Daniel Jones isn't the franchise quarterback that New York needs. I'm on the other end of this. I think Daniel Jones is a pretty damn good quarterback. I just don't think he's had a hell of a lot of help. I mean, the O-line there has been sus. Saquon Barkley cannot stay healthy. Their offense is extremely one-dimensional because they don't have a running game, so everything's focused in on him. I don't think he's gotten a fair shake in New York. I don't think he's a top-tier quarterback, but I don't think he's terrible. He's definitely a better option than I would say probably 10 to 12 teams have as far as young and potential. But I think he needs some different surroundings. I would love to see him get out of New York and get a shot somewhere else. To see if he's good or to see if he's what is happening with New York and he's just garbage. So, what are your thoughts, Corey?
I'm not in on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones' career to me is epitomized by the 75-yard touchdown that should have been.
That never was.
That never was. And it's sad. That
was really funny, though.
It was really funny, but shit, what is going on here with this? But it was really funny and it was really sad, but I think that's a perfect example. Like, he's got the tools to get himself in a position to be successful. He just won't be. I think that's kind of the position that Daniel Jones is in right now as a starting, quote unquote, starting quarterback. Look at that. I just figured it out. I'm a fucking IT savant. This is amazing. Anyway, yeah. Now I can focus. Let's see. He's no longer a first overall pick with his history. I'm not sure if that's about Christian McCaffrey. Is that?
Yeah, can you elaborate on who you're referencing there?
I think he's talking about Chris because I said all fantasy owners want to know. Yeah, I think that was what that comment was in regards to. But
Yeah.
so yeah, there's no way I'm taking Christian McCaffrey first overall. He was first overall in my league this year again. And a lot of people are like, do you do it? He's like, yeah, I think I have to. Like, you can't pass on him, which I get. I get that mindset.
It's a tough spot. I mean, me personally, I don't think I go with him. I would pick somebody that's a little bit more reliable because I don't want, to be crushing it the first, 6 weeks of the season and then have the rest of my year get,
Mhm.
just destroyed because he, gets hurt and then tries to come back and gets hurt again.
I really like Nick Chubb as as a pick for a back. I think Najee's going to be
Jonathan
up there.
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor has to be it. Yeah, I think.
I mean,
yeah.
he could potentially go number 1 this year in fantasy leagues.
Jonathan Taylor, absolutely, he could.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking about the Colts, there's another free agent that it's kind of in a limbo space right now in terms of will they resign him? Peyton, we're going to get to your question here in just a minute, buddy, but there's one guy who lit it up in years past that's now a free agent, and you're wondering, do you resign this guy? It's T.Y. Hilton. So if you're the Colts, Bobby, is T.Y. Hilton a guy that you're bringing back?
Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Obviously, on the downward trend in his career. I think he still has a lot of game left. Sure. The question, I don't think the question is, do the Colts want him back? I think the question is, does he want to go back to the Colts?
Really?
I think he could potentially be looking for a better spot with a more consistent quarterback. And right now, the quarterback, as we had just talked about, is up in the air. Obviously they've got a great running game. They've got a great offensive line. But he makes his money catching footballs. And with the quarterback being a question mark, is that a place you want to go back? I don't know. I think it would be more from that angle as opposed to do the Colts want him back, because I think T.Y. Hilton still got some football left in him.
If I'm the Colts, I absolutely stay away from T.Y. Hilton. And this is a matter of principle. It's a matter of principle, damn it. He's 32 years old. I don't sign wide receivers that are over 30. I just don't do it. Statistical regression happens at the age of 30 for wide receivers. There are a couple of unicorns, like Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens,
Larry Fitzgerald,
Chris Carter. Larry Fitzgerald's production went down after the age of 30. He was just in the league, which good on him. But to say Larry Fitzgerald is a top 10 wide receiver, you haven't been able to say that for the last 8-9 years.
That's a good point.
It's just a statistical fact that after the age of 30, wide receivers trend downward. So just from an analytics perspective, and you may love that or hate that, do you bring back T.Y. Hilton? No, you don't. You invest in your future, like Michael Pittman Jr., and you continue to put pieces around that and build around him at your wide receiver core, because he is your future. He's your best wide receiver at the Colts, and there are a lot of question marks around him going into this season, and I think he answered every single one of them. So this would be that's my general view on wide receivers in general. I feel the exact same way about running backs. I was not a proponent of the Bengals re-signing Joe Mixon for whatever it's worth. That said, that was when running backs were getting deals like Ezekiel Elliott,
right?
and the running backs aren't getting those deals anymore. So you can kind of rethink that perspective.
Sure.
But, yeah. So
Ryan coming in with a comment on QBs again. Zach Wilson.
Oh, hold
is
on.
It the Jets?
Peyton had one.
Oh,
before that.
I'm sorry. Yep. Do you guys think Rodgers will stay in Green Bay or go somewhere else? Whew. I think if he doesn't go back to Green Bay, he's hanging it up. I don't.
I got two places that he'll either play football in. It'll either be Green Bay or Denver. Those are the places.
You think he's coming back? That's my biggest thing. That's my
Yeah,
biggest
I
question
do.
mark
I
is he
do.
going to play?
I think he's coming back. Yeah, I think he's coming back. It's gonna be his last season in the league. I think he's gonna give it one more go, and if he can't do it, then he'll be done. But if he doesn't play in Green Bay, the only other place that I think he would play is Denver, um, and I believe it's their offensive coordinator or quarterbacks. Yeah, I think their offensive coordinator is now the head coach of the Broncos. So that's why I say that. That if you were to go somewhere, it'd be the Broncos. But that's I think he comes back to Green Bay. I think they get a deal done with Devontae, and I think they give it one more go with Rodgers at the helm. A last dance, if you will. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's staying in Green Bay or he hangs it up.
well, we're gonna get an
Those are the
answer
two
by
options.
Wednesday. We're gonna get an answer by Wednesday. He said he's not gonna wait till free agency. He's not gonna do that. Really? Well, we're pretty fucking close, Aaron. So
Well, he is one for the theatrics.
he is, dude. I'm fucking sick of it. Like I've said it so many times on this goddamn show. I'm sick of Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
in the mindset of, and I'm just gonna repeat it because we got some new people coming in tonight, just so they understand where I stand as a person, as a
Right.
man, as a man. The the mindset of the league the league needs me to play, and I'm trying not to laugh at Jaden's comment right now. But the league needs me, and I guess I'll grace the league with one more year of my presence. Like, fuck off, dude. Go do your Pachakarma and whatever it is that you're gonna be doing in the off season, taking acid with Miles Teller and all these fucking guys, but whatever.
back to Zach Wilson. Jayden said I like Zach Wilson's mom more than I like him.
I don't know what Zach Wilson's mom looks like, but I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, I need to see this. But to a more serious question, that Ryan had on Zach Wilson, is it the Jets or is it Zach Wilson? My opinion, it's a little bit of both.
So I Google Zach Wilson. What are the first four things that pop up? No, sorry. The first two that pop up other than Zach Wilson. The exact same thing I Googled. Zach Wilson stats, Zach Wilson mom. All right, let's take a look at Zach Wilson's mom here. I guess. I mean, yeah, she's pretty. Uh-oh, she's got an Instagram. I mean,
Yeah, she's
she's all right.
yeah.
She's all right. Jaden, you can do better, buddy. I mean, Zach Wilson did play for the BYU Cougars. Let's just put that out there.
Hey,
Put it out there.
maybe she strongly influenced his decision.
So, is it the Jets or is it the QB? You want to take that one first up?
Yeah, I kind of touched. I think it's a little bit of both. The Jets are notorious for not developing talent in any way, shape, or form, whether it is seasoned talent or new talent, young talent. And Zach Wilson was not obviously not the best quarterback to come out of that draft. And I think it shows. I mean, I think someone that can carry a team, can show a little bit, but I didn't see enough from him to have him make me feel like he is 100% not at fault. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot that he can do personally, to grow his game. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Jets just suck at developing talent. So I would probably say it's probably 70-30 or maybe 80-20.
Mm-hmm.
Jets versus Zach Wilson. But, as far as, the being the problem, but yeah, it's definitely more on the Jets, but I don't think Zach Wilson's completely out of that.
Yeah, and I think you echoed a lot of the things that I've said about the Jets over the last year or so, and I just don't trust anything that they do. So when they drafted Zach Wilson, I was like, well, I don't trust that. I don't think that that's going to be a good fit. You're putting a Mormon in New York City. Good luck. I think it's just a bad fit, and I don't anticipate anything that they do will yield success until they prove me wrong. So I'm I will admit when they do it, but they just haven't done it in a while. That's not the thing. I'm not rooting for his failure or anything like that. But
No, not at all.
yeah, Zach Wilson is a guy like you said. He didn't really show me a whole lot. He got hurt in the middle of the year, but when he came back, he actually looked pretty good, and he was having some decent games. So we'll really be able to tell as they start putting these pieces together. Similarly to like I'm a big proponent of not firing a rookie head coach. You don't fire a rookie quarterback. Same way, right? You're not going to just
Yeah, no, he definitely deserves another shot. I mean,
yeah.
he didn't show me enough to make me feel like, he can't start another game.
Wasn't Jamarcus Russell out there,
No, yeah, he didn't gain weight as the season progressed.
Oh my god.
One of the biggest wastes of talent ever.
Just a silly thing. So another comment coming in here from Peyton. Bills or Pats to win the AFC East, who would want it more? I think they
Bills.
both. I mean, I think they both would want it pretty significantly. But I think that I'm totally with you on that, Bob. The Bills are a better roster. They've proven they beat the Patriots 2 out of 3 times. They absolutely spanked that ass in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, Josh Allen's gonna get his ring or rings. That kid is unbelievable. He's another young, Joe Burrow type guy that's gonna get guys to go play with him, because he's that good. He can throw the ball. He's accurate. He's got a strong arm. He makes good decisions. He can run. He's mobile. Yeah, I think there's a lot of promise with him. I think the biggest thing that I would like to see them improve is their running game. I think if the Bills can, do something this offseason to either A, get a running back, or B, draft a running back that is going to make an impact on that team, I think that's the way to go for them, at least with that offense.
Yeah, and Brian, I appreciate you dropping in, liking the video. Yes, hey guys, sorry I'm late. What did I miss? But it's okay. You can come back and check us out on our Facebook page or on YouTube, and you can rewatch the videos either later tonight or tomorrow as well. So, but
your voice just got crazy.
My voice got crazy.
It got super deep. I don't know if that's just on my end or not, but it sounds like that scene from Super Troopers. Drop your code and touch your toes. That's what you sound like in my all right, straight face.
Like, do I currently still sound like that?
I asked Chad, does he sound like Corey, or does he sound like what I'm hearing?
I need to know if I sound like Darth Vader right now. I need to know. So I'm going to just start. What should I say that's really funny in a low voice right now?
Who wants a mustache ride?
Who wants a mustache ride? Are you still getting me in just like a really deep voice right now?
My pants, my belt just came off my pants.
I don't know what that means. You're erect.
It's real sexual.
Okay, so I'm still coming through, just not in my normal voice.
I wish you could hear how I'm hearing it right now.
Chat, you need
but no, chat. Can somebody please chime in and let us know if Corey sounds like Corey on your end, or if he sounds like Darth Vader? I might.
Is it better now?
Oh, that's way better.
So my mic was half plugged in.
Oh my. Okay, I was like, whew. That was fun though.
I can't wait to refer to that later as I watch the video again on our Facebook or YouTube page.
Oh shit!
Chat, you need to jump in though. Let us know what else you're looking for. What else you're looking for on out of the show tonight? Any other free agency topics that you're looking for? Go ahead and chime in right here before we wrap it up. We're gonna take your requests.
Brian said he went all dad mode on me, and then Ryan said, "Sounds like he's on 1-800-TALK DIRTY,"
which is interesting because before the show, when we were checking levels and making sure everything, Bobby's microphone was the sweetest, most sultry sound I have ever heard in my life, And I made that exact same comment that Bobby was on a 1-900 number, and yeah,
I'm gonna mess around with this mic a little bit, and I'm gonna get it to a point where it's a little bit deeper, a little
hey
bit
girl,
softer of a tone, so we can sound like we're on the radio.
I'm a butter your bread. Say stuff like that. I think that's the way to go from here on out for the rest of
Hey,
our shows.
baby.
Hey, welcome to Rallatown Sports. We're gonna take care of you. Oh yeah, stuff like that. I think that the guys, all of the guys in the chat right now, I think they could really get on board with that for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So there is one other team that we have left to talk about, and that is the Detroit Lions. They hold the number 2 overall pick in this upcoming draft. And there's been a lot of speculation as to who they're going to take. But everything is coming back to Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson, pass rusher out of Michigan, Heisman Trophy candidate as well. I saw him coming into the combine today, and he looks malnourished. He looks tiny. He looks thin. And the one thing that I keep thinking about when it comes to Aiden Hutchinson is that college football playoff game where he went against Georgia and got absolutely fucking manhandled. I'm asking you, if you're the Detroit Lions, who are you taking at number 2? Right now, in March.
I don't know, man. I mean, can you really pass on the guy if he's there too?
So the other guy would be Thibodeau out of Oregon. That's the other pass rusher that people are, crazy about. And then there's the safety. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The safety out of Notre Dame is another guy who is.
Obviously Hutchinson would have a huge draw. Going
Right.
from Michigan to going from Ann Arbor over to downtown Detroit. So,
Right.
I didn't see what he looked like. You said,
He just looks skinny. He looks like he's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, NFL can fix that real quick.
I guess
That
maybe
make you beefy.
But they fix it more like after year 1 going into year 2 where you have the full off season.
I don't think you pass on Aiden Hutchinson if he's there too. The guy's a beast. I mean, he clearly showed that the whole season. He had one bad game where he got absolutely destroyed.
Yep. But that's what he's going to be going against in the NFL. You know what I mean?
True.
Like that's the kind of guys like.
But I think a lot of what's going to come down to whether or not they draft him is going to be the interview and seeing where his head's at, and what type of a competitor he is. Is he the kind of guy that gets his ass kicked and then goes to the gym and kicks his own ass so he can go out there and beat some ass?
Yeah.
Or is he just going to go, crawl in a hole and cry about it?
Well, and that's a good point that you mentioned that, because when Dan Campbell was hired last year, he made the infamous comments at his press conference saying, we're going to, you're going to knock us down, and on the way down, we're going to bite your kneecap, and then we're going to get up again, and you're going to knock us down again, and we're going to take the other kneecap, and da-da-da, and we're going to be cannibals and stuff like that. And today at his press conference, I think it was today, he had made a comment that, we're going to be aggressive in free agency. If, we want guys that are ready to get after it. That's what we have in this locker room. We have guys that are ready to get after it. And we're going to be mean, and we're going to be aggressive. We're going to be tenacious. And that's the kind of, if you're gritty and you want to hit people, that's what we want here in Detroit. And I think that resonates with that locker room. I know it's corny and I think it's like a little cliche and a little weird at times when Dan Campbell talks, but at the same time, when he steps in front of his football team, like they're ready to run through a brick wall, and it shows on Sundays. Yeah, the Lions didn't win a lot of games, but
they lost a lot of close ones.
They lost a lot of close games they had no business being in. They beat the Cardinals, guys. Like they beat a playoff team. You know what I mean? So I think they got the right guy there in Detroit at the top in Dan Campbell. I think he can really galvanize the locker room around him, and they can really become a unit. and I'm excited to see what they can do with high draft capital.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple comments here. Peyton coming in. MLB rookie minimum is now 700K, which is insane, but there's still a lockout, which sucks nuts. We'll touch more on that Tuesday on Ring 'em Up. We'll definitely get into that. So make sure you come back Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and we'll get into the baseball a little bit. Ryan said he's from Michigan, so I'm going with cry in a hole.
Well, Ryan,
I take it Ryan's an OSU
yeah,
fan.
Ryan, I take it you're an OSU fan, so I think you might have done that at some point in December when you went up to the big house. I am not a Michigan fan. I live in Detroit. I'm not a Michigan fan, but I enjoy each of the fan base's pain equally.
Yeah, I am. I'm not a huge. I don't pull for anybody in college football. It's not really. My
Ryan,
forte.
you're a Tennessee fan. Ryan's a Tennessee fan. Hi, Ryan.
Corey woke up this morning and
Hi,
chose
Ryan.
violence.
Hi, Ryan.
Corey chose violence.
No,
today.
they beat us this year. It's fine. First time in like 45 fucking years, though, Ryan. First time.
Hey, it can happen.
It can happen.
Peyton coming in with another comment. The Lions need certain pieces, and they could be a playoff team or just outside the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, I think they've got a unique leader up there, as Corey was alluding to with Dan Campbell, and I think that's what the Lions need. I think they needed a guy like Dan Campbell. I mean, Matt Patricia obviously wasn't the guy. I'm not a fan of him. I think he's a terrible coach. But yeah, I think the Lions. I don't know if they could be a playoff team this year, but I mean, I think they could definitely be on the bubble and make cause some teams to not make the playoffs if they make some good moves.
Ryan with a comment said, "Now I sound like a Steelers fan living in the past. It's all I have."
Hey, Ryan, you watch your mouth.
You just took a shot at two of us in one swift move.
you watch your mouth.
It's all we have, Ryan. Okay.
That's all I have for the next 10 years, sir, unless we draft another quarterback that's going to start off 15-0.
Let me have it. You're good. The Tennessee is decent, pretty good at basketball this year too. So it's like, God damn it.
Let me live with the 2 Super Bowls that I've been actually able to personally see. The other 4 I wasn't even alive for, so I'm not going to claim those, but I can claim 2 of them.
No. Exactly. There you go. But no, I am going to disagree though on Peyton's comment about the Lions. The Lions are not better at any position than most teams in the league. The only thing that you could make an argument for is their offensive line. They have probably a top 3 center in Frank Ragnow. They have a really good pair of tackles in Decker and Sewell. So I think the Lions are probably, other than offensive line, they have it. When it comes to wide receivers, they've got St. Brown, who made some splashes. Or is that? I think no, it's not St. Brown. Who's the?
No, you're right.
Is it St. Brown? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who really came on strong at the end of the year, and I'm excited.
Great rookie season for that kid.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's able to do next season for sure. They have a good tight end, but defensively speaking, it's in shambles. The Lions on defense are bad. They're bad. And they have spent draft capital on guys that aren't good. And a lot of that is not due to Brad Holmes, the GM, and Dan Campbell, the head coach. It's due to the guys that were there before them, Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. And they are a joke. They were fraud. They were the first fraudulent enemy number 1 of Line to Gain. They were if you're new to the show, we point out fraudulent enemy number 1 throughout the season, and they were the first ones that I ever talked about. And when they got fired, it was a joyous day here in Detroit. But
yeah,
so I'm interested to see what Dan's able to do and Brad's able to do in rebuilding that defense over the next couple of seasons and get a guy like Aiden, if he can test well and show us that he's still strong, even though he's lean, that would be huge. That would be huge. If he can be lean and strong, that would be massive. Particularly if he's going to be kind of like a stand-up edge rusher kind of guy. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there. It's getting a little bit past our bedtimes.
I'm sleepy.
But we appreciate everybody coming out. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. I know we had a little technical difficulties there in the middle.
Yeah.
But no, definitely a lot of fun. We're going to be talking a lot more free agency in the weeks to come. Obviously, March 16th is the day that the official store is opened for NFL free agents. So we'll see a lot of action between now and then, or speculate a lot of action between now and then. And obviously we'll talk about it, all the way up into the draft. So make sure to come back Tuesday for Ring 'em Up. We will be on live. Mr. James, are you going to be joining us for that segment?
We'll see how she goes. I know you got Ring 'em Up on Tuesday. Wednesday, we got our second episode of our newest program, In the Post.
In the Post. Not in the paint.
Not in the paint. It's In the Post. In the Post, our basketball podcast. And then a week from right now, we'll be back with Line to Gain, talking some more football. So you got a fun week coming up for us next week. I'm excited to see it. Excited to see everybody here. I mean, you guys it was a great chat. Heather, thank you for liking the video. Great chat tonight, guys. It really makes our job so much easier when you guys are fired up and join in. Peyton came in, joined the show, followed the page tonight. Awesome. Hope to have you back, man. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. And one quick announcement: we are still. We got a couple of guys that are interested, and we're looking for more people that are interested as well. In becoming a co-host on Rally Tau Sports. Rally Tau Sports, we have 4 products that we're trying to put out on a regular basis throughout the week, and we need some help to do it. So if what we're doing looks fun and you're
let us know.
Interested in that, let us know. Hit us up on the page. So yeah, man, that's all I got.
All right, chat. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love.